Welcome to the Ozark Hobby Adventurist. I'm Ken, and today we are going to work on putting a light kit and controller in Scrappy. Now, this is an older roof rack that I've used before, and I've mounted my lights across the top. Half of those go to this side, and then I've got my two lights on the rear with a brake light, so to speak. We are also going to add two blue lights to the front, and then here we have our controller with our mode switch and our wiring that runs to, this is a little Y adapter here, but this would plug into the receiver, and then you could plug another controller into this. So we've already had everything plugged in and checked out to make sure that it works. And one of the things that I'm really kind of enjoying about the whole RC thing is trying to make things look as realistic as possible without having to go out and spend a whole gob of money and that kind of stuff. So what I've done is I've painted all my wires back here black, which makes it very hard to see. I still got to put a little bit of black behind the lens. You can see a little white spot right there. That's where the LED is showing through. And so I've tried to hide as much wiring as I can on the bottom. And as you can see, there's a couple spots where you got a little red showing through, like up in here where I need to put another little coat of paint. But what I've done is I've used a silicone adhesive sealant, and I've got my wires to where they were close to where they needed to be, and I took a little bit of sealant on a, put a little bit, squirt a little bit on a piece of paper, and you take that and just kind of put your little spot in. Now this stuff is sticky. This is awesome stuff. It don't take a whole lot. And so what I'll do is I'll add a couple spots of adhesive, and then I'll get everything pulled in all nice and neat and get it to where it'll stay, and I'll let that dry. Then I'll go back with some adhesive and go over and smooth out some spots. And so it's going to take a while for that to be able to dry. So you don't want to move it, you don't want to touch it, but you constantly want to check it to make sure that it hasn't moved on you while your glue is drying. Take these wires here, and I'm going to run them down up into the windshield area so that it looks like part of the roll cage. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, that's the plan. Give me just a second and we're going to get on it. So this is roughly what it's going to look like when it's done here at the windshield area. And as you can see, you really can't see the wiring too bad. I've got to mount the top roof rack here, and then we'll be able to glue all these wires in. Okay, here we are, and we've got everything screwed down, and the wiring is glued right here, and that runs down inside the interior. And so when the windshield's in, you don't even hardly see it, but it's kind of one of those things that if you look close enough, it's there. So I'm really happy with that. Alrighty, now we're going to have to do some wiring. Well, as you can see, this is a wiring nightmare, and it was, but it wasn't. I've seen better, I've seen worse. So here are the wires leading to the front. Here's the wires going down the passenger side. Here's the wires going down the driver's side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of those zip tie mounts here, one in the middle, and one over here, so that I can zip tie all these together. Alright, well, you've seen what mess I had before. I know it really doesn't look too much different, but what I did is I used some of these little sticky zip tie mount doohickeys, and I put one here and one up here on the firewall and one up here on the firewall. I figured that'd give me a little bit more protection than just sticking them down here. Also gives me the ability to stuff stuff in that area if I need to. So what I did is I mounted my zip tie mount, wrapped my wires together with electrical tape so that when I tightened up the zip tie won't cut through the insulation on the wires. So, you know, it's kind of a little bit of added protection. And then I've got these two wires here. I still haven't decided exactly where they're going to go, but I can still, you know, use a small zip tie and tie them up. And then I've got to finish some of my wiring back here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put some black adhesive here. I'm going to move this over and down a little bit. Put some black adhesive there. And we'll pull this out of the way. And a little more adhesive there and we'll be done. Okay, and here we are. We got everything back together. Scrappy's looking all a little crooked there. I went ahead and put the amber lights into these spots here. So now I've got amber lights, the blue lights, the 4 white lights, the 2 white lights in the back, and 1 red light. And so we're going to plug this in and show you how the modes work. And I put my switch right here on the dashboard, so it's easy access to get to. Alright, so here is in between each mode is all lights on mode. So here's the first mode, second mode, third mode, and my all-time favorite super blinky, the 4th mode. We're going to turn some lights out here real quick because this is just cool as heck. Oh yeah, that'll look pretty in the dark. Alrighty, well, I hope this gives you some ideas, possibly helps you out. Remember, the most important thing is plan, plan, plan. And maybe, just maybe, we'll meet you on a rock somewhere. Thanks for watching.